We are built for this network, for the strong, not the weak.
No escaping this. No escaping this. No escaping this. No escaping this.
I forget it. I'm just gonna start, man. We'll start. Those cats will catch up when they catch up. Right?
No escaping this. No escaping this. No escaping. No escaping this. No escaping this. No escaping. No escaping this. No escaping this. No escaping.
You are listening to the End of the Bench podcast on Built for This Network, hosted by my man HRap.
How y'all doing? How y'all doing? It is another week of the End of the Bench podcast. This is your man HRap as usual. I have another panel scheduled, and of course, because we're dealing with our folks. We're dealing on CP time. Everything we do is on CP. We're a little late. I got some good people coming on tonight. As you see, I got my main man Rated Kev again. Tonight's show will be about how to relax your mind. We know how to, we living in stressful times right now. And anybody can say, hey, I'm cool, ain't nothing bothering me, and things of that nature. We got a lot of stress on our shoulders. We are being shut in. We have always been ostracized as a community. But tonight's program, once everybody joins in, and me and Ray the Cab are going to start the conversation early because, hey, man, one monkey or three monkeys don't stop, no show. But, you know how to start all the preliminaries on each and every one of my shows. Y'all know how I start each and every one of my shows. The show always starts off with my stamp. This is a podcast. The reason I tell you it's a podcast is because you cannot miss it. Don't tell me, oh man, I missed your show, because you didn't. It's impossible to miss a podcast. A podcast is on 365 days a year, 24 hours a day. And if you watch it on the replay, you're not going to miss anything. It's not like when you watch it and it's not live. Oh, they took out section 2. We're not going to take out section 2. All you have to do to listen to my podcast is go to the network. Built for This Network on Spreaker.com. Built for This Network on Spreaker.com. Just like when you miss your shows on HBO, you go turn on cable by Comcast or AT&T or wherever you got your Cox cable, and then you go to HBO on demand or to your recording box, and then you hit play. In this case, you go to Spreaker.com, you go to YouTube, you go to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Castbox, Deezer, Podcast Addict, or wherever you download your podcast. I will be there. Now, as I do every week, I want to acknowledge my family. My family is the most important part of the whole HRap thing. Guess what? Without them, there is no me. My ancestors that have transitioned and my friends and family who are still here, who support me and make sure I stay grounded. That's who I'm gonna support, and those are the people that come with the last name Pollard. Anybody connected to the Pollards, Turners, Battles, Cottons, Harpers, Baileys, Chris Lansdowne, Liggins, Duncans, and me, my mother, my father, my brothers, sisters, nieces, nephews, cousins, are the Williams clan. We are in the building at all times. Rated Kev, what's good, my brother? How you doing?
Man, it's all good, man. Anytime we're able to communicate and pass a little knowledge and have a little fun, it's always a good day. Blessed day.
Indeed it is. Indeed it is. And for those who are listening on the Spreaker side, I need you to share and tell a friend to tune in and hit that like button. If you are on the YouTube side, I need you to acquiesce as well. Acquiesce is a real big word for do that shit. Now, I told y'all, CP time is a mother sucker, and we got a mother sucker named The Greatest in the building. What's up, brother?
What's up, man? Sorry for being tardy. I'll do some standards after class. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I will not be tardy on the board at the end of the bench offices for you, bro. It's always good to see you, man. Huh?
I'm trying to hook up with my laptop, but I'm on the phone right now, so I guess I'm good. So.
Oh no, you all good, man. You good, man. You good as gold. You good as gold. Like I was saying, man, this is not gonna be a traditional podcast. Everybody usually hear me, hey man, I get the compliments. Thank you for everybody who give me the compliments, man. That was a good show, man. I learned a lot. Blah 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 blah. Man, I really appreciate it. But today we're gonna talk about relaxing our mind, man, because these are stressful times. These are extremely stressful times. We have a verdict today that we're gonna touch on that a little bit. But primarily, we're gonna talk about the stresses that we have today as black men, as citizens of America, as human beings, and then hopefully we can come up with some ways to reduce that stress, because stress leads to high blood pressure, heart failure, kidney, liver, lung, everything, colon, all that stuff is tied into your mind. And when your mind ain't functioning right, those things shut down. When those things shut down, you say bye-bye. Next thing you know, everybody got a RIP t-shirt on with your name up under the picture. And don't nobody really know all the words. They're so hard to say goodbye to yesterday no more. So you better not die. That's your ass. They're going to be playing a tape.
Right.
They ain't going to be playing a CD. They're going to be playing a tape.
They're going to be on a cassette.
Right. right. They're going to be pumping in the TV show. You hear him preach at your funeral and everything.
Hey, if they can be on the HRap, they can be on the HRap. You know what I mean?
Right. It's going to be raggedy as hell. It's going to be people at your funeral wearing blue jeans. Talking about, this is the way we get down now. We don't do it like the old school. Boy, you ain't got no tie. You can't even tie your shoes. You can talk about tie. But with that being said, man, how both of you brothers doing? And let's go ahead talk about the 800-pound elephant in the room, the African elephant in the room. It goes by the name of Derek Chauvin. Huh?
Talk about me like that, bro.
You only 750s, wasn't you? I said 800. But let's talk about the 800-pound elephant in the room, brothers.
You got a lot to catch up, man.
Derek Chauvin was found guilty today. And what are your reactions? And with the reactions of adulation throughout the community, how do you feel about that? And then we're going to move on to more light things. We're going to move on to some more gooder stuff to talk about.
You know what? What's up? What's up, Kev? How you doing?
What's up, man?
First thing, a lot of thoughts came to my mind. And I said, God has lined things up for a reason. What if this happened at nighttime? No people around, no videotaping. What would justify this whole situation? You know what I mean? So it was. Thank God that it happened in broad daylight around a lot of people to see this, to witness this. You know what I mean? Also, the thing to mind is if it had went the other way, not only Minnesota would have been in a situation, I think the whole nation would have been, and our community would have been crazy.
Mm.
People would have, their actions would have spoke out big time. But thank God that this guy, the jury did the right thing, but it took so long. It made me think like, are y'all just doing this because y'all got it wrong the last time with all these? You know, it just, I don't know, just a lot of thoughts, man. Just like how many brothers and sisters got killed. You know, by law enforcement, they said, okay, we got to get it aside. But you had no other choice because we witnessed this stuff on video. You know what I mean? Those are some of the thoughts that came to my mind, man. So I just think it went in our favor, but we still have a lot of work to do. You know what I mean? And we should never always put our trust in the hands of other people. We have to control the narrative of the religion. I just thought this came to my mind, bro. You know what I mean? So
let me read what RC said before you take off, Kev. Sentencing has to still take place. So those who celebrating, I keep that in mind. I still have my doubts he'll get the maximum sentence. That's by our brother RC. RC, man, well, we still got love for you. We still sending our prayers and positivity for you, brother. Go ahead, Kev.
Yeah, I view this whole process as a 3-step deal. So first, we got a conviction. That was step 1. Step 2, we got not a conviction, we got charges. That was step 1 because charges are not always a given in these situations. Step 2, we got a conviction, right? So there is some level of excitement about that because you actually got him convicted. He actually, so with a conviction, what a lot of people may not realize, regardless to his sentencing, his role as a police officer, as someone that can actually have power, has now been eliminated.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He's been convicted. So there's some level of celebration for that. But now sentencing, we have to look at what type of time is he going to get. Because if it's a slap on the wrist, that's an insult. Because I know a lot of brothers out here solving some hard time for, just trying to make a little change. You know what I'm saying? It might not have been the right way to make a little change, but they didn't take nobody's life. And they doing 15, 20, years for trying to make some change. This dude took somebody's life.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So
what's equivalent to that? Well, equivalent to that would be his life, but we know that ain't gonna happen. So let's see what happens with the sentencing side. But there's another side to this too. I want to, this should be expected, right? Should we really be celebrating that something to be expected? That's one of the biggest questions I have. You know what I'm saying? This should be the norm, not the extreme or one-off. This should be normal. So, there's a level of excitement, and there's also a level of really. This is we have to really be excited about somebody actually doing their job, a jury actually doing their job. So that's the way I see it.
I'm right. That last point, I'm in lockstep with both of you guys. I'm not happy at all, though. I'm pessimistic in regards to things like this, and it's because, if nothing else, D-Great Town showed us that there are no guarantees in regards to this, and this is the very reason I wanted to do this show, because we're not guaranteed anything. We're not guaranteed justice in America. We're not guaranteed these people gonna do the right thing. We're not guaranteed any of these things. All we're guaranteed is that we are going to see something, and I don't think we should be happy at all. Call me pessimistic. Call me a glass half full kind of person. Call me all that stuff. If you have to, I understand, man. That's part of having opinions on these platforms. But as me and you talked before the show came on, for us to be happy that Derek Chauvin was convicted is literally the equivalent of being happy that somebody you hanging out with has taken a shower that day. Oh man, you took a shower. You don't stink. Nobody does that. Or you know what, Kev? You ate dinner today. You're like, I eat it. That's what I'm supposed to do. I'm trying to live. And for these people to, for us to celebrate it. I mean, I'm not knocking nobody who celebrated either. Keep that 100 too. I don't care if you celebrated this. That's if you feel better, that's good. That's a good thing. Again, this is about feeling. The entire platform today is about feeling better. But I don't want us to get excited. I don't give a damn. The maximum he can get is 40 years in regards to this. If he get to 40 years, I'm still not going to be happy. Because there's no such thing as justice when it comes to a murder. Because Mr. Floyd will never be here again.
Right.
His kids will never see their dad again.
Right.
His wife, girlfriend, mama, sister. So ain't no justice.
Right.
Ain't none of that, man. So I don't want to hear that nonsense. But if my folks feel better about this small victory, and listen to that, the police and the criminal justice department doing what they are supposed to do is a victory in our eyes, and our allies' eyes. That's horrible. So, and again, man, I don't want to be a wet blanket, but that's just the way I feel. Go ahead and speak on it, brother.
Yeah. That's my whole. That's the second part of my statement. That's what I'm saying, and it's really my excitement is tempered, just like yours is, because this is supposed to be normal.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? This is not supposed to be going off. And the fact that we are so excited or find joy in something that's normal really speaks to the level of this is where we're at as a community. They have beat us down so much. Just look. I mean, there's so many cases you can look at and say it was obvious things. You go back to like the original man. With King.
Rodney King.
Guy named
Rodney King.
Rodney King.
Ironically, April 29th. Ironically, that happened April 29th.
Oh, okay, yeah. So that was the first time we actually saw it live. We always knew it was happening in the community, but first time we really saw it live. And look how that came out. So how many years have come by? It was 30 years ago, maybe?
Almost. Almost.
And we finally started to talk about police reform. We finally started talking about, actually holding the police accountable, and let me say this now. We're talking about white police officers. Because black police officers are held accountable. They are held accountable. You got to be careful when we say police. White police officers being held accountable. And that's it's kind of sad to say that 30 years and we're just not getting to a point to where we're seeing it actually happen.
We about to say something, D. Great? He can't hear us. Well, until he hears, we gonna introduce the world to our other brother, Ben, one of my podcast brothers and brothers from the Forecast, the show that we did last night. If y'all ain't seen it, go to BS3 Radio, check it out. Forecast every Monday, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Welcome to the show, Ben. Talk to me, buddy.
Hey, what's going on? How y'all doing?
We good. We good. I don't know if you heard the beginning. The show is supposed to be about how we as a community, and especially men, because women get together in these groups and they do their little whine and they laugh and they joke and they argue. I mean, they let everything out and they cry and they enjoy themselves. This show is about how we as men need to figure out a way to release. But we couldn't ignore the fact that Derek Chauvin was found guilty today. And we want to know, before we start that portion of the show, we want to know your thoughts on that situation so we can move forward.
Yeah, definitely. So this is what I was hoping for. I know some people saying that they're shocked But in my opinion, this is the most blatant thing that we have ever seen happen. I think because it was all on tape. There wasn't any, I don't know what happened, or I need to figure out what happened, or there's no questions. This literally should have took 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
It shouldn't even took this long. So, but now I'm looking to the next point of this, which is the sentencing. So I know you have the maximum of 75. So I'll say that I am happy because this is justice for this family, and this is, like I said, the most blatant thing that we've seen. At least I've seen probably in my lifetime, probably since Rodney King.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the sentencing is what I want to see now, because I think this is just the first part of today with this trial.
Yeah, man. That pretty much is the general consensus. Oh, D-Grade fell off for a second. He trying to get his sound together. Don't worry about it. We got your spot open, D-Grade. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much my sentiments, Rated Care sentiments, D-Grade sentiments. It's just, and the only thing I would add to it is I was saying, I am not excited. I'm not happy because, as Rated Care so eloquently said, as you were in the green room, this is what's supposed to happen. We can't be excited for what's supposed to happen. We need to, now if something extraordinary happened, then we can be excited. But if this is what we're supposed, this is what we expected, then we got to just go, hey man, yeah, whatever. You know what I mean? So, and now it seems as if most of us we have a wait see kind of attitude, and we're gonna wait and see what's going on, and then once we find out what's going on, then we'll be able to pass judgment on the system. And even if we get even if he get each and every one of those convictions, and everything goes his way, and he goes to jail for, let's say he goes to jail for the rest of his life, I'm still not impressed, because that's what you're supposed to do when you maliciously, with no regard for human life, take someone's life. You should be incarcerated forever. You should be removed from society so you won't be able to do it again. One thing I did like that Reddy Kev said is, at least he is convicted. Therefore, even if they give him 15 minutes in jail, he can't ever be a cop again. He can never take someone else's life and think he's going to get away with it.
Yeah, and to add on to that, I think too, this is still happening. So you're right. We can't be celebrating, because this is so small of a celebration that there was a kid that got killed in Minnesota that was 13 years old. So like it's
right.
We can't even really be excited because it's still happening. If it stopped happening and we say, oh, Derek Chauvin was the last cop that killed an unarmed brown person, then I think we could be
right
on a congratulating him and being excited.
Yeah, I totally agree. I agree. But let's get back to the focus of the show, man. That last comment that I put into the notes is from DJ Ramon on the Spreaker side, so that way everybody can be engaged. Maybe he can't come on this side, and I'm gonna keep flipping back and forth. Anybody post something on the Spreaker side, I'm gonna post it so the rest of the chat room can see it, so we can stay engaged and still be a part of the show. Like I was saying, man, this is something that's stressful. And when we're dealing with things that are stressful, whether we want to admit it or not, we take those things on, man. And as I stated at the top of the show, our sisters, they hang out. They get them some wine, or they laugh, make them some of them fruity drinks, and turn on some music and cry and let it out. And brothers,
Yes.
we have been socialized to, I'm a man, I'm tough. And next thing you know, they looking in the box, man, HRap wasn't even that old. How you out of here? So what I want to do is, I want to talk to some good brothers like y'all about how are we going, and I got some more people coming, how are we going to learn how to relax our minds? Being black itself is stressful. Come on, man, look. We living in a world where no BS. I've been pulled over 3 times in recent history within the last 3 years. I don't know if it was the first or the second time. I literally said, I might die today. Now I got valid license. I got perfect insurance. I got Allstate. I have right. I got 4. I think I got.
If I cuss, I owe everybody a quarter, man. My bad. I'm trying to be respectful.
It's all good, bro. It's all good.
I'm sorry.
It's all good, man. And I think I'm 50 years old. I got my license in 1986, and I think I got like 3 moving violations. So I don't have no warrants. But I literally said, man, I might die. This might be it. What are we supposed to do as brothers, as men, to take it down like the sisters do, man? You know, I don't know if y'all want to cry. Brothers don't even want to cry. Some of y'all are crying right now. But what we gonna do to relax our mind, brothers? How can we get us some we time? How can we talk to our, as our brother Ivan said, the dog, y'all know him as Dog. Our brother Dog said last night. How can we pour into somebody and know that they gone? Do you have somebody you can pour into and knowing they just gonna flush it down the toilet and not remind you? Remember that day you said, or da da da. And one of the examples I used was, we need somebody to talk to, like, that don't know our family, because we tend to do this. You talking to your homeboy about your brother, and then he go, man, well, you know how your brother is, dismissing your emotion, not still bottled up. Anybody can take the floor on how we gonna get better.
Go ahead, Kev.
Well, this is what I do, man. This might, I hope you don't mind me,
hey, man,
putting a little religion in this, right?
The floor is yours.
Look, man, I'm very grounded in my beliefs in a higher power, right? And that's what actually translates into me being relaxed, because I understand that, for one, nobody gonna hurt me. Now, they might physically take away my freedom. I might be broke. Might not have a job. You know what I'm saying? A lot of things can occur that I have no control over, right? But they ain't breaking me down, because I have a very strong relationship with the Father above. Because of that relationship, it brings me peace of mind. It brings me joy. Because I'm very confident that that police officer that pulls me over, yeah, I gotta put my hands on the steering wheel. I gotta do all the protocols it takes to make him comfortable, even though he should be making me comfortable. I know I gotta do all the protocols to make him comfortable, right? Because my life might be in jeopardy. But when it's all said and done, he doesn't have power over me. He might think he has power over me, but he doesn't. So I'm so grounded in my faith that I can't. I don't allow these things to stress me out. I don't allow these things to affect me that way. That's how I do it. I know it ain't for everybody, but that's me.
But you know what, Kev? It is fair. It can be for everybody, because like I was taught this. I was taught this: when you pray, you talk to God. When you meditate, you listen. And either way, you're gonna be in a relaxed state to move forward in this chaotic world. So some people might pray to Jehovah, Allah, whoever, man, God, what is it? I forgot it's another name. Well, whatever. It don't make a difference who you pray to. Just slow down and get you something or someone to pray to, and you might be in a better situation. With that being said, I want to introduce you all to our brother Doc. I just spoke him up. I spoke him into existence. Here we go. Doc, welcome to the show. It's always good to see my good brother.
What's up, man? How y'all doing?
The question on the floor, we good, brother. The question on the floor right now is, with living in a stressful universe, being brothers, men of color, young Africans, black folks, African American, or whatever you want, Nubians, whatever you want to call it, the gods, whichever direction you're coming from, How do you relax your mind? We got Ben, D-Grade, then you can take the floor after they do. Ben, the floor is yours.
Yeah, for me, I think I do a couple of things. I agree with Rainer Canvas. I do pray. I pray to God just to renew my mind. That's a daily prayer that I have, because there's so much stuff that carries over from the previous day, and if I allow that stuff to continue to pile up, I'm gonna explode. So I ask God to renew my mind. Now, me, I'm overall, I'm a pretty laid back person until I just get pushed to a point where I get upset. So I'm naturally calm, I would say, but also I do talk things out with my wife. She is we see eye to eye on a lot of things. We see things that go down. We talk about it, and we like, well, you know what, this is where we are, and we are surrounded by a lot of savagery, by a lot of other people, and so I talk it out. I talk it out with my wife, and then I let out my frustrations in other ways, and if I need to punch something, if I need to go to the gym, if I need to run, walk, whatever. I do those things too, so it's kind of a collective.
D-Grade? You on mute, good brother. Let me see if I can take him
Man, I got you.
You good? You good?
Sorry. Man, I'm gonna go back to the point where I think you said, who do we talk to as men? You know what I mean? Do we have any homeboys or anybody close in our lives to express? And I do. You know what I mean? I could call up anybody in my circle to release some of that, some of the issues that's on my mind. You know what I mean? But I think the pandemic kind of handicapped us a little bit of going out, of being around in a gathering of with our brothers. You know what I mean? In some communities it hasn't stopped, but so I see a lot of people still out there doing their thing. You know what I mean? I'm like 50-50 with that, but I do have a small circle of brothers that I've been knowing since I was 5 years old, man. We still tight to this very day. And in a time of need, a time to talk, and time to really express, I can go to them. Cause they my friends, but they like my brothers. Cause that's how long we've been knowing each other, over 45 years. You know what I mean? I talk to the wifey about certain things. You know what I mean? And sometimes sometimes she understand where I'm coming from, and sometimes I don't share with her. You know what I mean? I just, especially come to with talk about our main issues. But to answer your questions, man, I'm the kind of person that express a lot to my folks, man. Even on the podcast, man. If you that's part of my release too, man. You know what I mean? If it wasn't for the podcast, man, I don't know what I'll be doing, bro. I use that as an avenue to let a lot of stuff out. To me, I mean, if you talk to my wife, she tell me I'm the most happy when I'm on that mic on the podcast, man. For real. I enjoy doing that. Yeah, I think I was blessed with this opportunity too, for that to be in my life to release some of that stress. That's one of my number one stress relief, playing the music, or even talking, or even doing this right now, man. This is among some good brothers right here. This is what I like to engage in, man, because even though we're not in the same cities, we share the same values, and we share some of the same concerns, man, to express. And I also trust you guys to hold me accountable, to give me a different way of looking at things too, man, instead of being around. Because sometimes you can be in your certain circle, or some of your friends, if they're your real friends, that keep you in check. You're not a real friend if you don't keep your homie in check. Like, nah, dude, you wrong. You know what I mean? You need people there in their life to self-check you, because you're not right on everything. You know what I mean? But you got to do what they love, and you got to do it to the point where if I check him, he going to be mad at me. He ain't going to talk to me for 6 months. Nah, bro, we bigger than that. You know what I mean? You're my brother. If you're my brother, you let me know if I'm doing something wrong, and I should be able to do the same to you. I should have to come to you and say, hey, HRap, you know what I mean? When you had that dashiki on, that wasn't a good look for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, man.
Or I should say something like, HRap, why do your forecast shirt look a little tighter than everybody else's forecast shirt? No, I'm just joking, man, but it's all about having fun and enjoying it.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. My man, Dog, what's good with you, brother?
Yes, sir. Hey, I've been chomping at the bit so hard over here. I pray that my speaker situation is okay and my noise situation is okay, because I am dying to chime in on this situation, okay? So let's just keep it real, all the way real. Some things a female just can't help us with. At the end of the day, that's no disrespect to them, no intent trying to alienate anybody. Some things it's got to be a man-to-man situation, as simple as that, okay? And so last night, when on the podcast, to kind of reiterate that, I framed it in terms of toxins. You know, we all have toxins, right? We have mental toxins, we have emotional toxins, we have physical toxins, we have spiritual toxins. And if you don't have a good place to unlearn those toxins, you're going to be in trouble because they're going to become deadly, okay? Another way to put it is a corner man. You got to put it in boxing terms. You got to have a good corner man. If you don't have a good corner man that's trying to heal up your wounds and telling you to keep you right up and the stinking move and do those kind of things, it's going to be an uphill battle for you. You know, and so the young folks call it A1 from day one, right? Well, I got to correct them on that situation, because every A1 ain't from day one. Hello?
Amen.
Every A1 ain't from day one. You know, in fact, a lot of folks don't realize that the people in our lives have a shelf life, some of them. Everybody ain't meant to be with you to the end. Everybody ain't meant to see you succeed and get up over that mountain. Some folks were just meant to show you the opening of that trail, the opening of that path, to give you some insight on how to get up that mountain. But not everybody was there to see you succeed, okay? So there's a shelf life, and if you try to carry folks into your success, into your new life, with an expiration date on it, then that expired mess is going to get on you. Okay, so you got to be in tune with exactly what you're saying, who you're seeing, who you're dealing with, and making sure you're moving and shaking the right way.
Amen. And if anybody who disagrees with my man, Dog,
You better shut your white mouth. I'm not kidding you.
What I like about it, man, is everybody touched that spiritual base, okay? And it is relationship versus religion, okay? Whatever God you pray to, right? Whether it is, like you said, Allah, Jehovah, Jesus, whatever it is for you, right? You got to have a spiritual foundation to be able to keep that peace. And you got to, this is what I always say to my folks, is you got to pursue peace with a passion and a purpose. You can't just be like, okay, I hope I'm at peace today, or I want to be at peace today. You got to pursue peace with passion and a purpose, man. You got to be after it. And if anything disturbs that peace, you got to check it quick, like it's a cancer. Don't let it sit there and fester. Cut it out like a cancer.
amen. All I can say is, amen, preacher. Preach on. That's all I can say.
Hey, who got the love album basket is what I want to know past it.
Hey.
Hey, won't you come? Won't you come?
Everybody put their head down. Put their head down. I'm finna leave. I gotta go to the bathroom. I got my finger up. But with that being said, though, on the serious side, y'all, What are some of the things? We're going to go Dolph, we're going to D-Grade, we're going to go Ben, then to you, Ready Kev. What are some of the things that you do to just have some fun? You know, we can pray, which is necessary. Everybody needs to have a spiritual base. That should be the floor, because that floor is never going to change. That foundation is never going to change. Just like the foundation of your house. You got your spiritual base because it's never changing. It's like God never changing hand, ever changing hand, right? So we got that. So what about fun and relaxation? Like me, I collect wine, Intercept Wine by Charles Woodson. But everybody don't do that. So, Dog, D-Grade, Ben, then Ready Kev, talk to your boy, holler at me.
Yeah, I do a variety of things, man. Number one, fun. And Ben will tell you, I've been knowing Ben the longest out of anybody here, and he'll tell you I am the same no matter who I'm around. I don't care if it's a pastor of a mega church. I don't care if it's just some brothers that I just met. I'm going to cut up and be a clown, right? So last night I mentioned this. I said laughter is a medicine, and so I'm going to have fun no matter where I'm at, no matter who I'm around. I'm going to be cutting some jokes. I'm going to add some levity. I'm going to lighten the situation because things can't always be heavy, But, I choose in my discretionary funds, I choose to buy things, four-wheelers, jet skis, a boat, horses, vacation. I do all those things because they are a release. They are peaceful, So that's what I choose to do to have fun. But number one, most important, it doesn't matter if I'm sitting around the coffee shop or the living room or, my office. It's going to be some laughter involved, because number one, I'm not taking myself so seriously. Number one. And number two, I'm not taking those around me that seriously. And if they are, then chances are we're not going to spend a lot of time together. It's the reason why after the forecast, we still on with each other 20, 30, 40 minutes. Because it is a benefit. It is we are servicing each other, and we getting something out of it. Brother talked earlier and he says, this is my release. So you can see it happening right then and there. You can see a release happening, and we are servicing each other. So again, it's just a daily thing to me. It's not a what do you do every now and then. You got to have a daily routine. And this is the last thing I'll say because I'm about to get into a bad area. But I did this in speaking engagement one time, and the name of it was Bring Your A Game in Academics, Athletics, and Attitude. And the first statement I made was, how can you bring your A game if you don't know what your A game is? There is something that you have at your disposal every single day, whether it be a smile, whether it be a sense of humor, whether it be your knowledge, whether it be whatever. You got to understand who you are first, right? And you got to understand what your positive is, what your talent is, what your gift is, what your A game is. And if you know what your A game is, bring it with you every day. And mine is being a fool, so I'm going to be a fool every day.
Hey, man, that's what I'm talking about.
I ain't mad at you. That's right. I ain't mad at you. I want to subscribe to the after talk of the forecast so I can get in that conversation.
But your credit card information got to be right to get on that, though.
You sound, let me tell you what you sound like. You sound, I got you. And you sound just like me, because me and Deacon Dale, when I was working at my night job, and I get off 6 in the morning, for some reason, me and Deacon Dale talk for 45 minutes every morning. I said, Dale, we got to charge people to hear this conversation if we do this right. Because you subscribe, it's going to cost y'all $150 just to get in. You know what I mean? Off the top, because the stuff we talking about in the morning time.
Hold on, D-Gray said, he said,
those after show conversations, man, be rocking.
D-Gray said $55 to listen to Deacon Dale, and we ain't even gonna understand what he's saying. You gonna have to.
Sit your ass down. We gotta build that money up, because his translator is expensive. You know what I mean?
Hey, www. We don't know what Haji talking about.com.
Right. And man, you hit some good points. points, man, and I kind of mentioned it a little bit already with the podcast. Is my release. You know what I mean? Lately, just watching my kids. It's funny, just watching my kids develop, man. You know, I have a 16-year-old, and she just so way ahead of the game than I was at 16, which is a blessing. You know what I mean? And watching my grandson just learning things, learning how to talk, and just running around here just doing his thing. You know, that's peaceful for me. You know what I mean? Before the pandemic, going out and hanging out with people and dancing, man. Dancing is I grew up dancing, bro. And when you stop dancing, having fun, listening to music and all that stuff, it to me it was like I can't. It was one of my stress relievers. You know what I mean?
But the robot been out of style though.
Right. The robot, the bump, you know, bringing back all the old school dances, you know. But just you know, and being with my friends, man. Because like I said, a lot of like he hit good points. A lot of your wives and y'all side pieces don't understand, you know, don't might not understand some of the things that us men we have to talk about. So being around my fellas and playing cards, playing spades, not that. I mean, we play spades online, but it's different when you play spades close in real life. You know what I mean? You might can be very intimidated online, talk that crap online, but when you there with somebody and they in your face and they give you that look like you better not see, you can't renege in online. But when you renege in real life, that's the worst thing you ever could do in a spades game. Yeah. Man, so just being around my folks, man, being around my family, you know, hopefully when this pandemic is over in 2022 next year, I'll be with HRap chilling. Hey, I'm gonna promote this right now. Hey, next summer, save your money. We're going to Chicago. We're going to chill with HRap and the whole Chicago clan. So, be ready.
Done.
Be ready.
Done.
I'm with it.
You got a lot of weight on your shoulders, sir.
Hey, man, I got it, man. I got wide shoulders. E.
That's right.
You see that? E. I've been doing one push-up a day for the last 6 months. Y'all don't want to see me. One a day. You don't see me, man. Anybody want some, man? One push-up a day. I'm doing 2 today since you talking.
Hey, it might sound like I'm joking about that, H, but I am trying to recruit people to come. I've never been to Chicago, man. I really want to come out there during the summertime, and I would love for anybody that we're connected with through the Spreaker, through YouTube, you know, we ought to just show up, man. Show up and show out, man, for a weekend, man.
It's the most goodest summer city in the world.
Additional, like every year, every summer we hit somebody else's city. Maybe the next summer you come to LA and I host LA. And we come to Dallas. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I'm telling you, like, you come to Dallas, y'all ain't gonna really go nowhere because I understand it.
I lived out there, and then since he's not stable in Arlington, he always traveling. Maybe we can have something in the back of Reddy Cav's truck. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Hey.
We got room. Come on, we got room.
That's right.
Next up, that would be Ben, or AKA, I ain't gonna say his other name. I was gonna let y'all. I ain't let y'all know. Me and Ben so close now. He Trey.
That's fine. Everybody at home, I'm call me that. That's good.
You know, that's how tight we are now, y'all. Trey.
For me, it's definitely the podcast, man. And my wife was always like, "You are the quietest person until you get on the mic, and you are the loudest person I have ever met." And I'm like, I can't help it when you. And that's therapy too, D. Gray. I agree with you 100%, man. Me, especially this Monday show with the forecast, this has really been able to help me talk about some things that you're right, that you either don't want to talk about with your wife or you can't talk about with your wife. So definitely doing the podcasting is fun for me. Also, I'm a big movie and TV guy, so watching a good movie, watching TV with my family is always enjoyable. you know, we're in the process of having a house built. So man, as of right now, man, being able to go and see the progress of that it's been fun and just thankful for that. And then also, you know, the last thing is making people laugh. Like, it's fun for me to make people laugh. So if I'm making my daughter laugh, rolling on the floor, if I'm making my wife laugh, if I'm making guys on the forecast laugh, to me that's fun. So those are things that, and I try to do that every day. I'm always trying to crack a joke to make people laugh. And I'm talking about a real laugh. I'm talking about that fake laugh.
Right. That's great. It's funny that you say that laughter. When I hear my daughter laugh when she's in her room laughing, laughing, I just listen to her laugh and it makes me feel good because our young people is going through a lot of stressful stuff right now. You know, and just to hear young people just laugh, just a genuine laugh with their friends or whatever they see funny on TV, it brings joy to me, man. To hear my daughters and my grandkids just laugh, man. Just because I told my daughter the other day, said, look, at 16, there's no one in the world you should be stressing over anything. Enjoy 16 because you can't get it back. Once you turn 17 and 18, 19, 20, become an adult, you cannot get those years back. So enjoy the moments. Quit tripping. Quit stressing. Be a 16-year-old. Be a 16-year-old, man. For real.
Amen. Yeah. Ready to care.
Well, piggybacking, I definitely want to emphasize what the great just said. Yeah, we got to teach our kids to laugh, man. Because if you, you know, one of the things I think the problem is that they have access to so much. I think that's what helps that stress build up. Because they see things, they hear things, and they're so exposed that, you know, I understand why it can be stressful. You know, back in the day, we didn't have that. We didn't have to worry about it. It took half the time, you know, especially living in the South, right? The greatest they hear something, and it'll take a week before we hear it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. By the time it gets to the East Coast, you know. So, yeah, teach our kids to laugh. But that's one of the things about me is that I think that if you can't laugh, if you can't, especially at yourself, right? I start with myself, right? I find not cruel, of course. I don't be cruel to myself. I don't be I don't judge myself. But when I make a mistake, I don't stress over that mistake. I laugh at it because it's simply a mistake. So I find humor in so many things because I don't take a lot of things serious. When it's time to be serious, I'm serious. But if I misspeak, or if I make a wrong turn, or if I do something that's, you know, I don't stress over it. I laugh about it. I find a joke about it, you know. You ask my wife, I can make a joke out of anything. I don't care. It is something you can bring up. I'll make a joke. I got a rant. Not just a joke. I got a rant about it. You know what I'm saying? But that comes with that peace of mind that we spoke about earlier, you know. So laughter is the key in my eyes. You know, learn to laugh at yourself, learn to laugh at others, have the people around you that are not all stressed out all the time, and just have fun. You know, have fun. You know, I heard the greatest talk about spades. I mean, you know, I don't know if, you know, I've never gotten into that group, but that's something that's relaxing to me. You know, playing cards. You know, I'm a poker player. I play poker. You know, I play spades. You know. Just to have fun and relax your mind and get away from what tried to be stressful in your life. I don't let anything stress me out. What I'm saying, things that try to stress you out, I try to get away from it by just being relaxing and, you know, playing some cards at times. So another thing, now it's another show, but you know, I'm a gun guy, you know. So I go to the range, man, and you know, shoot off a little bit. You know, hey. You talk about a stress reliever. You know what I'm saying? That's a stress reliever. So, you know, I find my ways of, you know, finding jokes, having fun, laughter. I like to play my little hobbies, play little cards every now and then, and play with my toys.
And you know what? That's
right. But you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, I get you. I was the 10-4 on that. what that was funny that you said that, and I was gonna ask you guys for some suggestions for people when like guns. You from the South, like here's the beauty in this. D Great is from the West Coast. He's from LA. I'm from the Midwest up top. You and Ben, y'all in Texas. You Ben from Texas, you in Louisiana. There are different ways to relax our minds. I was gonna say, give some people some examples of additional ways to relax out of the norm, and you just did the gun thing. The reason I'm so glad you said the gun thing and not from a violent perspective, it was simply because in our community, due to the over-indexing on the violence that go on in our impoverished communities, we think guns are bad. And I'm so glad a level-headed guy who initially led this entire conversation off of spirituality has the ability to go from God to guns. And let you know, man, you can have a gun as a toy, and it is okay because when I'm speaking for myself, and I bet you if most of the people who live in urban areas who listen to their show, when you say gun, they immediately think violence. They don't think hunting. They don't think target practice. They don't even think competitions. They think somebody gonna get hurt. So, man, shout out to you for that. And if you want to add an additional something like Doc. His signal bad, he fell off, and he's still in the chat room. He said Domino's will be here. Did anybody else got any additional ways to relax their mind? I got one personally, but I'll share with y'all after we hear y'all opinions. D Great, Ben, either one of y'all could take the floor, or you could add something else too, Kev, if you like.
Well, I mean, just piggybacking on what you just said, man. Just like you have to find out. Well, okay, I add another one to it, right? And you got to broaden your mind sometimes, right? I love to play golf, so, and I love to talk about sports. So last week we talked about how sports and how it's been, taken away. They have tried to take away our joy of sports by making it so, that's another conversation. But
no, it ain't. Go ahead. Talk.
What I'm saying, though, is that if you can take sports for what it is, enjoyment, entertainment, right? That passion for it. That's another way of releasing that joy. Even in defeat, I enjoy watching my Raiders play. I enjoy talking about it.
You've been enjoying them a lot lately. We've been enjoying them too much lately. In defeat.
HRap, come on, man.
I mean, I'm Raider Nation too. That's what I say. We've been enjoying too much of that.
But just that joy of having, something to talk about with your brother. That's another way of, one of the things is when you're talking to your other brothers, right? And you talk about problems, right? They become judgmental. You talk about sports, what happens? That competition. You know what I'm saying? That's what comes out when you talk about sports. Then you're able to laugh about things. You're able to kid about things. Put a smile on your face. You know what I'm saying? So instead of taking sports so seriously like I used to, now I just enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? I don't have bad days on a sports day. Raiders lose, I'ma still feel good. I had a good day. Nobody died. Hopefully.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Find joy.
You're going to have to find joy. You're going to have to stay in a joyful spirit, especially dealing with the Raiders, bro.
Oh, this is from a Cowboy fan. His team won 5 games last year. His team won 5 games.
As you talk, I'm just thinking about, it was some months ago, you guys I hosted a Raider takeover on Chief Rocker's show, and ever since that show, the team went downhill. Some people tried to blame me for that.
Well, it was your fault.
You lucky being on here and here Cowboy guy too. We will cook them Cowboys. I'm just saying.
That was round Thanksgiving. That was in November when that happened. I do remember that day. Oh, my bad. I kind of drift off a minute. All right.
Yeah. Back on topic, bro. Back on topic.
Yeah. Great points, man. Go ahead, Kev.
No, you got the flow.
I'll use that as an example. Remember when we were doing that exact show? Who came up with my nickname?
Oh, Stinky.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's about having fun, being able to laugh at yourself. You know what I'm saying? That's a great. To me, that was a great example right there of how you do it. You know, don't take it personal.
You got to laugh at yourself when Jerry Jones on your team.
We had fun on that for months, didn't we?
That was that. Hey, it's all in fun. It's all in love, for real. Right. It's all for real.
You got to have fun when Jerry Jones on your team.
Whoa! Relax. Fall back, son. Hey, if I had a button, I'll push the button that says sit your down. You know what I mean?
You mean what, like this?
Sit your ass down.
That's what you did?
Right. I miss that dude, man. Tell him I said what's up.
But you trying to say it.
Wrong. You're wrong.
And if you think the Cowboys gonna do something this year, y'all think the Cowboys gonna do something this year?
Just so very many ways for me to say this to you. Never, not in a million years, absolutely not. No way, Jose, no chance, Lance, and yet, negatory, and of course my own personal favorite of all time, man falling off of a cliff. No!
That's all we need to be better than at this point.
You see the joke they just put out there?
Right.
Good evening, family.
You got the correct.
Y'all laughing too hard on that, man. I don't like that.
Wow.
You getting mad?
Sit your ass down.
And Derek Carter, y'all, everybody. And Chucky is y'all head coach.
And Jerry Jones being your team owner? You know what? You and Jerry Jones need to.
You better shut your white mouth. I'm not kidding you.
That's all I got to say. I'm through talking.
Yeah. Take a step back. Ben, you want to go ahead, man. I'm going to let you take the floor. Not just on the sports, but just on the topic, man.
Yeah. Back to the topic.
Yeah, so for me, man, riding and listening to some music is fun for me. Like there was a point where we still share a car now, but my wife was the main one that was driving it. So I wasn't really driving at all, and I didn't realize like how much I needed to just ride home from work with the windows down, listening to some music. I didn't realize how much fun and like therapy that was for me until I wasn't able to do it. And now, man, when some new music drops, or when playing that Nas or playing whatever, I have a variety of music I listen to. But being able to listen to music and on a way home or on a drive somewhere is like priceless for me.
A Miami Dolphin fan has a question. I'm not gonna say nobody's name who trying to low key diss the Raiders. Mocha. Rated Kev. Ask Rated Kev so he don't get stressed with his Raiders. She forgot that I was a Raider fan.
I found Joy, man. Joy. Miss Dolphin fan.
Yeah, Dolphin fan. We ain't saying her name. Dolphin fan. Thanks for the support, Dolphin fan. She thought I was we on that. You know what, Dolphin fan?
You better shut your white mouth. I'm not kidding you.
That's all I'm saying. Anytime somebody say something bad about the Raiders, that's what they get. Win, lose, or tie, silver and black till I die.
Okay. There you go.
Man,
People got it.
Great points, man. I just think, man.
He got a cowboy hat on. We should turn this pitch off.
Hold on. You like that? driving is key. I like to drive, man. You know, driving to Vegas is a nice 4-hour drive. It's a nice little drive for me whenever we do go. And we do plan to go back to the Vegas when the pandemic is kind of slowed down a little bit. You know what I mean? I think you have to put yourself in a good space, and wherever that space is, you know, whether it's driving, whether it's listening to music, whether it's doing a podcast, all these things I like to do. You know what I mean? Doing the battles for my show every other week. That's fun for me to match up the people to get the song list in order, and just to create any positive energy on that Sunday where I got a lot of people coming in the chat room and just saying hello and vibing out for 3 to 4 hours, man. And really, I mean, you know, people that's not into podcasting, that's coming in and just staying and listen to a show, you know, that's pretty cool, man. You know what I mean? Because it's
it really is.
To me, the time go by fast. To other people, it might be like, man, how could you listen? How could you be on the radio or listen to this for? But that's why, as a host, you have to keep people engaged. You know what I'm saying? So I give you props, HRap, for doing what you're doing to keep people engaged with topics. You know what I mean? It's not an easy job. You gotta have notes. I think today Mocha had. I did a show today. And I didn't have half the stuff I play is just off the top of the dome. I used to create a playlist when I first started, but that became stressful for me. Like, I gotta find a song. I just whatever I feel, man, I just play it. So Mocha had said something about Luther. I'm like, oh, I got Luther. I can play some Luther. That's easy peasy. You know what I mean? So I was bumping some Luther today, man. You know what I mean? So, like I said, everything related to me being happy and me feeling good about myself. And I don't want to go into detail, but me and H talked about this the other day about my job situation. You know what I mean? Over the last, what's the day? Today's the 20th. Over the last 20 days, man, I've been feeling real good, man. Real good, real peaceful, real less stressed. Top of the year, man, I was stressing, bro. When you gotta find sleep and try to find sleep to work at night, and always try to find sleep here and there, broken sleep, 3 hours here, 2 hours there. That's not healthy for a 53-year-old dude, bro. I'm just being real. It's not healthy. You know what I mean? People do it. They gotta do what they gotta do. You know, but shoot, man. I'm just trying to find that peace, man. You know what I mean? Just be around good people, good energy. That's what it's all about, man. That's what it's all about.
Man, I agree with all y'all, man. But one thing that I do, I do all the stuff that y'all was talking about. I'm gonna do 2 things that y'all suggested. I'm just getting into guns. I've had a Ford car for a couple years now. I used to be, due to my past, I used to be anti-gun. The homie Dre said on Big Illinois show the other day, part of the reason is because I was a hothead, man. And without telling my personal business, I just chose to not deal with guns. But I'm going to get back into it for things like what Ray Care said, for target practice, for anything, just to have fun, to blow off some steam, man, because I never looked at it as a stress relief or whatever. So I am gonna get into that, and I could definitely identify with what Ben said about driving with your windows down. It ain't nothing like playing some old school music or turning on West Side Wednesdays and just drive. I mean, you talking to a cat that one of the homies, I had at one job, I had so much time saved up. They say, look, we can either give you a check or you can take the next 3 weeks off. I was like, see y'all at the first of the month. You know, so when I got home that night, one of the homies needed me to help him drive from Providence, Rhode Island to Phoenix, Arizona. And we did it. I jumped in the ride. You know, his wife used to be an airline stewardess. He listening right now. He's like, whenever you ready, because he called me. It was crazy. I sat down in my chair at the crib. I'm looking around the crib like, man, I ain't got nothing to do for 3 weeks. And phone rang. He said, it's a ticket there waiting on you. I need you, boo. I said, all right, cool. He said, well, it's there already. Whenever you get here, it's cool. I told him, I got 3 weeks off. Cool. He thought I was joking. I hung up, packed my bag, and went to the airport. I called him 3 hours later. Was like, hey, come pick me up. He was like, stop playing, man. I said, hey, dude, I called you from a payphone purposely. Look at your call ID. And it said 401, and we drove straight over. So I'm with y'all, man. Getting in that car, man, and going coast to coast is nothing, man. It's nothing for me. I drove from Chicago to Miami before. I'm a road tripping dude, Jack. So, yeah, y'all, I mean, I identify with that. But you know what my number one stress reliever was? I've gained about 60 pounds. You know, I still had it in my stripper thing up under me. But now, on the six, but I gained too much weight. But I used to be, for 2 years, I was a vegetarian. And I used to get so much pleasure coming home. Like, I would go to the fruit stand and get all the vegetables that I needed for the week. Every Thursday, I would do it. Cut up all my vegetables. Come home every night and do food prep. And by the time I put that food, and then as I'm cooking, I'm washing dishes so I could just go do what I'm gonna do. You know, relax. By the time I put the food on my plate, it was like I had had a drink after a very stressful day. You know, you ever had a real stressful day? You have a drink, you break that sweat. That's how I was. So if anybody's listening, you got golf. Doc said dominoes. Ben said ride. D. Gray said cards. Go to the gun range and try cooking, man. Because how about this, y'all? If you cook on your own, you're going to lose weight, you're going to save money, and you can potentially relax. You can go to YouTube and get you. That's what I did. I'm probably the world's first mistake vegetarian. I said I wasn't going to eat meat for the last week of every month, right? And what I did was went to YouTube and looked for some recipes for that week. I looked up, it was the last week of April. It was January, it was the last week of April. And then I looked up again, it was the last week of August. And then I just said, why go back? So, brothers and sisters, that's the key to this show. We're going to take a break because I want, y'all know I do some Black History stuff every show to enrich us so we can identify who we are and not have somebody tell us who we are anymore. We're going to be who we are. And these things help us. I hope you enjoy this one. Please stay on. We'll be back shortly. Greater Kev, D. Gray, Dolph may be back. Ben gone for the day. He has some other things. We got a couple other guests coming. Thank y'all for tuning in. Keep looking. Don't go nowhere.
Now this will be a pretty epic battle. What up, y'all? It's your boy Humpty, man. I'm back at it with another video of African history, culture, and worldview. And today I want to talk about Shango versus Thor. I mean, there are only so many gods throughout human mythology. Some of them are bound to be similar. And the similarities we see between Thor and Shango are striking. Now, as a kid, I had this brief obsession with the Vikings, and I really liked Thor. I thought he was pretty unique. But as I grew older and learned about some Yoruba gods, I quickly realized that the reason I love Thor so much is because I never heard of Shango. Now, I feel like it's my duty as an Afro-descended oral historian to give other aspiring Afro-descended children at least the option to choose Shango or Thor. My childhood was ruined because I never heard of Shango. My home team is not going to let that happen to you. Let's begin with Thor. Now, Thor is mostly known throughout the Germanic tribes of Northern Europe. His story is largely recorded in Norse mythology from Iceland. Now, Thor is known as a god of thunder, lightning, oak trees, strength, fertility, and many other things. He's also known by many different names by many different people. The dude has like thousands of different names. Now, Thor was idolized and worshipped throughout the Christianization of Scandinavia as they called on him and symbolized his double-headed hammer in defiance of Christianity. He was very popular throughout the Viking Age, and he's championed for defeating his enemies with his might. Now, popular culture portrays Thor with having blonde hair, but according to the mythology, he actually has red hair and a red beard. Very Viking-like. In the end, after all his exploits and interactions with Loki, he dies from his wounds after he battles a large serpent. He's a pretty cool dude. Now, if you like Thor, there's no way you can't like Shango. Now, Shango was actually the third king of the Oyo Empire, located in Nigeria today. He was described as a very powerful king, winning many battles and campaigns. The unique thing about the Oyo Empire was that it was the only Yoruba state that actually had a cavalry unit. Shango no doubt took advantage of this and became a huge part of this tradition. Now, Shango was such an amazing king that he was actually believed to be an Orisha, and after his death, he was deified. Now, an Orisha in Yoruba tradition is actually a reflection of the characteristics of God. And there are many Orishas or characteristics of God in Yoruba tradition and religion. Now, here's where the similarities come out. Shango was the god of thunder, lightning, fire, power, and pretty much anything associated with masculinity. He actually wields a double-headed axe that's associated with great power and even a symbol of self-control. Now, Shango had 3 wives, Osun, Oba, and Oya, which was one of his personal favorites. Now, Osun was a goddess of love, beauty, fertility, and divine rivers. Oba was a goddess of marriage and domesticity, and she was also banished by Shango. And Oya, the personal favorite of Shango, was a goddess of wind, hurricanes, and sudden change. Shango is believed to hurl bolts of lightning of people chosen to be his followers. And today, his followers are believed to be in the millions. This dude is actually still worshipped and venerated today throughout many countries. These countries include mainly the Caribbean, like Cuba, Haiti, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, Trinidad, Venezuela, and many more. Now, the reason that he's worshipped in these countries is because of the Atlantic slave trade. Yoruba slaves brought to these regions actually carried and preserved this religion, and so Shango lived on. Now, let's compare these gods. Thor has an advantage when it comes to popularity, hands down. He's seen in movies and even in video games. There's even a day mentioned after him, Thursday, or should I say, Thor's Day. Now, Shango's advantage is his legitimacy. He was actually a real dude. Another advantage is that he's actually still worshipped and venerated today throughout many parts of the world. Now, people might be hesitant to pin European traditional beliefs versus African traditional beliefs, but consider this. Now, Thor is known as the son of Odin, but according to one account by this one Icelandic scholar named Snorri Sturluson, Thor was actually the son of Memnon, the African hero of the Trojan War epic. So, kids, no matter who you choose, Africa always wins. But I want to hear what you guys think. Who has a better legacy, Thor or Shango? It's your boy, Home Team. Know thyself. Remember your ancestors. Peace.
Oh, my fault. It's the End of the Bench podcast hosted by your man HRap B on Built for This Network, a simulcast on YouTube. The End of the Bench, Build and Destroy, where we are building up our community, our minds, bodies, souls, and destroying the negativity and the propaganda that surround our communities, brothers and sisters. Much love to all of you. Now, we were talking about healing ourselves, and we were talking about relaxing our minds because we have to, folks. What I'm going to make a suggestion, this is a suggestion I got for us as well. We left, and I was talking about how I detox from the world by cooking. What else I'm gonna throw out there is this. I need my brothers and sisters to do one thing, even if it's this program. This is how important everybody who can hear this, will hear this, or will tell somebody about this. I need you to turn off social media, turn off your damn TV, turn off that news, turn that damn Facebook off, or whatever. Even if you have to miss my show for 2, 3, or 4 weeks, guess what? It's a podcast. You can always come back if it's important to you. Or if you think you missed something, you can reach out to me and say, Rap, what was it about? I try to only add positivity to the universe with my shows, with videos like you just saw, good brothers like you just seen, Dog, Ben, and others, Jack. There's too many brothers who've been on my show and my rebranding of my show to even name. But what I am going to do is that I want you to get unplugged from the nonsense, man. Because, as Dog said, it's a lot of people, people bring negativity into your life all the time. Maybe somebody's bringing negativity. They don't even realize that they're being negative. They're just whatever. It's a misunderstanding. But we got to unplug from this negativity, folks. Start calling your friends. Sit on the phone with your homeboy for 20 minutes or an hour. My man Joe from Houston, I don't FaceTime. I'm old. I'm old, so I think FaceTime is stupid. Maybe I need to start FaceTime with Joe for human activity. You know what I mean? We have to get this negativity out of our minds. Again.
Hey, H,
yeah.
it's going to be hard for you to FaceTime on a rotary dial phone, bro.
I got a TV hooked up to mine now. Right.
I'm just giving you a heads up. Maybe that's why, it's hard for you to connect with Joe. You feel me?
Right. But we have to.
I feel you, though.
No, because we, that kind of interaction right there, man. Because you know what, man? We've lost that. I'm not talking about this pandemic, man. I'm talking about before the pandemic. We didn't have no. Me and you was talking about it. We didn't have no more cookouts. We wasn't really doing a lot of hanging out with the homies. And this dumbass idea, no new friends. To me, that's the stupidest concept. Oh man, my circle tight. Ain't nobody asking you to invite somebody in your house and let them sleep in your bed or sleep on your couch. But the only way I became a better person is because I met D. Gray, because I met Rated Kev and others throughout the podcast sphere, as well as J. Ron. I don't know J. Ron, but me and J. Ron met on Twitter. It's people that I talk to. It's Nigerian brothers I talk to on Twitter. I had a dude from Guyana, South America, on my show. It's a dude who I used to play his music when I was on X Squad at the beginning of my show. He asked me could I play his song because I met him on Twitter through Twitter, and I played his music in Australia. So how do I know these people if it ain't no such thing as new friends? Is J. Ron coming to my house anytime soon? No. But I don't even smoke cigars like that. J. Ron sent me a delicious tasting cigar. I smoked it sitting on my back porch. Again, I started collecting wine. Charles Woodson, Raider Nation, D Great. It's 2 Raider fans and 1 Cowboy fan. You better stay in your place. But but seriously, and look, this 2 birds with 1 stone. A brother made this wine. I gave him my money. It's gonna relax me. I'm gonna start collecting wine as well. So y'all can add anything to that.
So help me out. Help your bro out. Wine. My wife drink wine. Last time I tasted wine when we was 16 and 17 drinking no damn Seagram wine coolers.
Bottles and James.
Right. And we thought we got a buzz off by drinking that, you know what I mean? So I tasted some wine a couple of months ago, And that's what it tastes like. I'm like, this tastes like a wine cooler. I was like, so as a brother, and it's for brothers that drink wine, describe the wine taste. Cause we back in the day, we drunk 40s, we drunk Cisco, we drunk Night Train, we drunk all this nasty alcoholic stuff that, you know, if it don't taste nasty, it ain't good. Hennessy and all that, but what does the wine, I mean, educate me on wine, you know.
First of all, I'm not even going to try to do that because I'm a wine neophyte. I'm brand new on this. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the homie, Nicole Davenport. She took me about 7 years ago. She took me to my first wine tasting at this place here in Chicago called Cooper's Hall. And what you do, she had a membership, and me and her used to hang out, act a fool, talk about each other's mom, you know, and just to show you how silly me and her was. Me and her, like we became better friends when my mom was sick, and she'd be talking to me on the phone late at night. Later on, she contracted the same illness as my mom, and she was like, I gotta go do this chemo, and I started calling her Chemo Sabi, you know. So once she got better, we started going to the wine taste. Shout out to Nicole Davenport, she watching too. Good friend. We grew up. We from the same neighborhood. But I said that what they do is they give you something to blend out your palate, and then they give you the wine, and you taste it, and they keep balancing it out like that. So, only thing I can tell you, D-Grade, is this about the wines that I've tried. When you're there, if you go to a winery, like you in the best place possible, you can even do it for you and your wife, because you can just drive up the coast and get it in, and then come on home.
That's what we gonna do. We gonna do that.
And what I've noticed is this. This is what they do, D. They open up a bottle for you. They open up a bottle. They take the top off, and what they do is called let it breathe. And that's so the flavors will come from the bottom of the bottle up, right? And I still don't know what this means. They pour the bottle and they let the wine legs show. I don't know what the hell that means, but it just sounds real cool when he said it, right? But once it breathes, you taste the wine, and they had this card. They flip the card over and walk away. You thinking, hey, where your customer service at home? You supposed to be standing here telling me about this. You taste it, and then he come back and he said, what did you taste? And you go, well, I tasted a little berries and grapes, and it was a little apple in there. And then he flip it over. He said, that's exactly what was in there. And then he tells you about it. It's an experience. Dog, if you ever go by yourself, you and your wife, I don't know, I can't tell you what the prices are now. But when I did it again, because I went with somebody on a date, and it was only $34.
Right.
So, you know, that was, again, man, me and Chemo went about, my mom been gone 11 years, so she got sick the 10th year. So that was like that she got well around the 13th year. So that was when we went, and then I went on the 15th year. So that's about 5-7 years ago. I went on my own. I ain't been back since, but I do consistently go in the stores and be like, I'm gonna just try out. Well, what's up with this? And they go, what do you like? And that's the beautiful thing, man. Learning is the most relaxing thing I do. That's why, like, y'all be thinking, man, man, that's some cool stuff, HRap. But I'm a nerd, man. I crack a lot of jokes. I love hip hop music. You know, I'm from the hood. But like that song I used to play at the top of my song, I ain't gangster, even though I grew up in the hood. I got gangster buddies. I know a lot of people who do nefarious things, but that's not me. But what is me is learning and sharing. I relax like y'all. What Kev don't do a show anymore. But when you, like you said, when you hit that live button, man, it's like live, and that internet hits you. And when the people come in, what's up, HRap? And I type in your name, and I want people to know. Just because I don't say your name don't mean I don't acknowledge you. It's just, it's people who tell me, they send me tweets and inbox messages. They be like, hey, man, who are those people you be announcing? that takes away from the show from them. That's why I don't announce. I just type in your name. But it's fun, D Great, man. This wine thing is cool. It's adult. You could collect it. You know, I'm collecting now, and y'all come. Just imagine, man. I got 6, 7, 10 bottles of this Intercept. Y'all come through the crib. I pour everybody a bottle. Y'all go, man, this is decent. Now you in on it. So, and how about this? Red wine is good for your heart. Dolphin fan said she cracked on the radio. I was gonna say, I almost said her name. Dolphin fan said, so the greatest, you live in California, you've never been to a wine tasting. She's asking a question. Oh, he made a mistake, put himself on mute. You on mute, brother.
Oh, my bad. I got you. I'm sorry. That's facts. Never been. I will be going. Come back to my wife likes wine, so that'd be a date for us to do. You know what I mean? Something. Cause we always think about what we gonna do. What we gonna do? Well, let's go wine tasting. So, but when you drink Ciroc all the time, and I mean, you know, I don't have no interest of driving somewhere far to go get drunk. You know what I mean? So I don't know, but I will be going.
Before Kev jump in, but you know what I did one time, D Great? One of the largest beer distributors in America is 90 miles north of me. I asked some of the homies if they want to go. They, oh yeah. When it was time to go, man, nobody want to do that. I was like, ooh, drove right up there, went on a little tour. They gave me, I broke the glass since they gave me a little coin, a commemoration coin like this to say Miller Brewing Company. They gave me a cup, and you get one glass of beer that's fresh out the brewery and everything like that. So that's also something. And what we don't know is breweries near us at all times, and wineries around us at all times. Therefore, there's a million and one things to do just to relax your mind, just to get the hell out the hood.
Right.
Go ahead, Kev.
Right.
Yeah, man. I'm not a big drinker. In fact, I actually stopped drinking. Beer used to be my thing, man.
Mm-hmm.
When I was drinking, I never drank to get drunk, but I used to love to experiment with different flavors of beers, you know, different brews. I never got into like the real dark type beers, you know, but you know, you don't have to do things to the extreme. I know some people is cigars, you know, some people like cigars. So, you know, just find something to relax yourself and broaden your mind, and be an adult about it. You don't have to abuse things to enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like going back to being when I was drinking beer, you know, I could drink, you know, 2 or 3 beers and then really enjoy different flavors to, you know, enrich my palate to really get a true sense of what the brewer is trying to accomplish. And it goes back to your wine. The same thing with the wine, you know. It's not to get drunk, because I'm back like these great was talking about back in the day. We drank some Boom Farms or some Mad Dog 2020, or, you know, that was just to get drunk. To understand this up our level, let's understand there's something better than just getting drunk or just getting high or whatever the, you know, vice might be. There's some enjoyment in there if you can put your adult hat on and enjoy it, you know, by relaxing and, you know, enjoying life, you know.
And if anybody in the chat room, if y'all have anything that y'all would suggest for people, and this ain't, you know, that's why I had the brother Supernova Sloan on 2 weeks ago. He talking about men health. Sisters, I'm not negating y'all health. It's just, y'all got this thing figured out. We sitting around stroking out, dying first. You die before your wife. You know what I'm saying? Dog mentioned it too. Like, not to dismiss the sisters. If y'all got something for us to do, Please, we recommend it. Rhonda mentioned earlier, I'm not a man, but I didn't read the whole, I don't remember what she said in its totality. I might even go back and post it. But it's just, man, it's just, we have to expand our minds. Women got that little thing that they be doing, and you might take your boyfriend to do, or your husband, or whoever he is, your significant other. You and him might go to this thing in Chicago. They got this thing called Sip and Paint. Well, the ladies sit around, and it's a naked man at the front of the thing, and they sitting around painting him, and they all drinking wine. We have to create something like that, brothers. We must. We must. I ain't no dude up there. Some of y'all might want to paint a dude. D-Gray went one time when it was a dude, but I ain't gonna say nothing.
Hey. You know, fall your butt back with that one, bro. Hey.
Hold on, wait a minute. Did you just say fall back?
You better shut your white mouth. I'm not kidding you.
Listen, when we come to Chicago, that could be one of our icebreakers. We do a drink. I ain't gonna say sip. Do a drink and paint of a young Lola Falana portrait.
What? Boy, you said you want to meet a host. They got Lola Falana up, and I ain't leaving.
Lola Falana.
But this is what Rhonda said. Clearly, I'm not a man. However, based on the conversation that we've had with men of color, there are a lot of judgment when it comes to brothers getting emotional about things, or getting emotional, or if things sound emotional to other brothers. You know what? I feel Rhonda on that. But you know what? I think that's more of our uncles, our fathers, and those people. Because we're the generation, we all in the same group. You know, we all within 2 or 3 years right here. And I think that's that generation that was before. Y'all always hear me speak about the generation 1959, 1979. I think the 58 song back, that's them. Because today's brother ain't got no problem telling another brother, man, love you, brother. So I think that's an old thing. But at the same time, as you stated, D-Great, you got to have that group of friends that, and Dolph said this last night in the off show, post forecast show. You got to have that group of brothers, both of y'all said it, that's gonna check you when you're wrong and hug you when you're right. We have to, man. This judgmental thing and thinking you on top of the world and this, that, and the third. Man, enough of that nonsense, man. Because all that shit is doing is getting us put in the ground.
Right.
We are killing ourselves with that bravado, with that false bravado, and that's why I wanted to do this show, man, because we must create forums in which we make other less macho men understand that macho ain't got nothing to do with your muscles and your inability to be emotional. D-Great, I don't know. I've told you this 10,000 times. That's why people gravitate towards your show. Because you have no problem when your homeboy passed away. I think somebody got murdered. When your wife's mom passed, you got emotion on that show. You know that made people say, "This is a human being." I don't think one man who listens in our little podcast nation, because we ain't a family, we a nation. That's better than a family. It's bigger than a family.
That's right. That's
I
like that.
Our little podcast nation. Nobody sees you as weak for that. People. I mean, I can only speak for myself, and I'm listening to Kev say, yeah, people going, that's a good brother right there. That made people like you more. And we need to, that's why I wanted to do this show, because, look, man, we don't know what's going to happen with this Derek Chauvin thing. Dolphin fan cracked on you. I'm going to put it on the screen. But, we don't know what's going to happen with this Derek Chauvin thing. We don't know what happened. And see, that's what I'm talking about. Things like that. Look, jokes. Those things make it so we should be able to do these things. Like in a couple hours, we're going to be on Tasty Talk. And we're going to have a good time on that. And we have to. We must. There are no other options. We must continue to support each other and come up with ways to clear our minds. This Derek Chauvin thing, bruh, we need to realize. I don't think I want to hear y'all opinion on this. I'm coming full circle from the top of the show. I think the best thing for our community doing this Derek Chauvin thing, would have been if we never even reacted. If they'd have said Derek Chauvin not guilty, if we'd have been like, and kept walking, and then in a couple of weeks they say we gave Jesus the keys to a cell. That's when he getting out, and we should have still been like this. The reason I say that is this. When we react with adulation, with elation, I should say, that let them know that we've been calmed down. They can wait a few weeks and then back to the BS. And if we act in anger and dismay, then they start giving us more concessions again to calm us down. But guess what? I use this example. I might have been talking to one of y'all earlier this week and said this. Just imagine, what would you do if you came home and you and your significant other got into an argument and one of y'all hauled off and punched the other one in the face? Let's just say it's the woman that got punched in the face. And all she do is go, pow, and then go start making dinner and clean the house and make the bed and finish the laundry and fold it. You will sleep the rest of your life like this.
Right.
Because you would be waiting on that sister to bust you in the head with a Snapple bottle. Shout out to my man Freeze Love.
You hoping you don't get no oatmeal thrown on you.
You. And that's why I say we should have just said. And when they asked us, how you feel about this? What do you mean how I feel about it? This is the system, isn't it? But people gonna do this. This is how the system works, isn't it? Why am I either happy or sad that the system did what it is designed to do? Correct? Y'all thoughts?
I think that's a great point.
Go ahead, Kevin. Okay, I'll go. Hey, I think it's control. They controlling our emotions on both.
One of y'all put it on mute. The other thing on mute. Whatever. Your listening device on mute.
I don't know. I hear you. Hold on. Oh, that's the mic. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Are you listening to the show while you on it?
Huh?
Are you listening to the show while you on it? Cause
I got my headphones.
Rady, you got your show playing in the background?
No. No.
Somebody else in here?
Well, don't worry about it. We didn't got through 3 hours. Well, an hour and a half. We good. We got 15 minutes.
Okay, let me go ahead, Kevin. Let me see it.
Well, what I was about to say about that is that, we definitely got to. I think there's some excitement has to be done or expected because it doesn't happen enough. So you can't help but be excited. But HRap, you hit it on the head, man. This is supposed to be the norm, and we're supposed to, not show the joy because there should be no joy about somebody taking their life. And then, I ain't trying to be sympathetic, okay, because I have no sympathy for it. But this man's family, and I'm sure there's somebody good in his family, they're going to be suffering now too because of his actions. So not only did he affect George Floyd's family, but he also affected his family now. His family should be impacted. You know what I'm saying? So there's regardless to what angle you're coming from, right? And like you said, this is supposed to happen. You're supposed to, when you do something to this magnitude, you're supposed to have your life taken away from you in some manner. Perhaps not a death penalty, but we're talking about in jail for life, for a very, very long time. I love the phrase they give it to Jesus and let him let you go. You know what I'm saying? But in a way, I think that is the game that they play with us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they like you said, they look at how we react to these situations, and then say, okay, well, and I think they push for that borderline. How far can we push it? How far can we go? You know, okay, all right, so this all right, that's the line right there. So you can't choke him on the ground with your knee on his neck, with 3 or 4 other officers witnessing. Okay, now we know the line. You see what I'm saying? We can shoot him in the car, or we can shoot him while they're running. We can shoot him in the bus station. You know what I'm saying? We can do all the other things. That ain't the line. We found the line. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So what you're saying, HRap, I'm trying to get back to that, because what we should do in these situations is just be quiet, like you said. And so you know what? Our voice, when we protest, when we do these things, it's not going to really change anything. But you know what we're going to do? We're going to start pulling our money out of your account.
Mm-hmm.
And start putting it with One United.
One United Bank.
We're going to start trying to be self-sufficient and not rely on your employment and become self-employed. You know, we're going to start thinking about our health instead of eating the food that you want to feed us, because, you know, that's what they do. You know, they make this food cheap so we can buy it and feel it's a bargain. Whereas the vegetables and the good cuts of meat, and if you don't want to talk about meat, but the vegetables and the good eating is more expensive. That's design. You know, so let's unplug. Let's unplug from the matrix and start finding our wealth and take this nonsense. Don't play the game that they want to play, and play our own game.
Amen.
You know, and have our grits cooking. When it's time to throw it back at them, we throw it back at them with a nice big full pot of grits.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I totally agree with you, man. It's just, we must stop buying into the nonsense. It's, Killer Mike got a bank coming up. Greensboro, I think. But I mean, I just put most of my money. I just transferred most of my money, and I just put most of my money in this thing called into One United. I've been banking. My mother opened a bank account with what's the name? Chase. I've had that account since 1984. I got sentimental reasons to still be dealing with Chase. But enough of the sentimental stuff. I can get that same, I get that same privilege. I get those same privileges if we walk over to First United. One United Bank, y'all. National Bank, they partner with U.S. Bank. So if it's not a One United in your area, you can use it there. But that's the thing. We must. It's just a situation to whereas we must put ourselves in the best possible situation to be successful without the dominant society that is anti-us. And I will continue. Again, this is why I bought the Charles Woodson wine. I could have bought a million other wines, but I found out Charles Woodson had a wine and went and bought some on Saturday. It was good. I went and bought another bottle today. E40 has tequila. There are a lot of black beer companies. I'm gonna start. If I buy beer, I'm going to them. I'm not gonna argue with you about treating me like a human. You gonna either treat me like a human, or I'm gonna leave you alone. D Great, you got something to contribute, brother?
I mean, you guys hit it all, man. It just, like I was saying earlier, it seemed like they trying to control our emotions on both levels. You know, like you said, if we don't react, they don't know how to come at us, or we throw them off. You know, it seems like when you watch it on TV, the news, anything, a car chase, situation like this, the media expect us to blow up, and they want to just broadcast that all the time. Even the reactions, the cheering and the praising of God that, you know, he's guilty, blah blah blah. You know, they just want to see us react, you know, and show the world how we're reacting, man. I don't know. You could have some people thinking like, man, I hope he's not guilty, so some BS can jump off. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So, but this is just a small token of what needs to be done. We have a long way to go. This is just a step. You know what I mean? We have so many yards to go. If it was a football field, we just gained a first down. You know what I mean? We got to score. And that's getting justice for all our brothers and sisters that has been done wrong, whether it's broadcast on social media or not. There's a lot of brothers and sisters in the hood in our communities that's still getting messed up. That's not being televised. You know, a couple of weeks ago, I was driving home. It was at night. It had to been like around 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. I don't know where I was coming from. I could have come from driving. And I looked at my rearview mirror on my street. The police was following me, bro. And I didn't panic. I just pulled up my driveway and got out my car. They looked at me, and I guess they figured I was an old dude, you know what I mean? They waved at me and kept it pushing. I'm like, why was y'all following me anyway? You know what I mean? But then I realized that I was missing it could have been, I'm not giving them no excuse. It could have been I had one of my tail lights was out too, you know what I mean? So, you know, that just gave them more reason just to start some BS with you. You know what I mean? But I put in my driveway nonchalant, you know, like, if I know I ain't did nothing, I ain't tripping. You know what I mean? So, hey, you know, they saw me and they kept it pushing, man. So, I don't know, man. And that wouldn't even been broadcast. You know what I mean? It was late at night. You know what I mean?
And see, that's the problem. D-Great, it's not a shot against you at all. Please, I just said that. I knew you wouldn't, but I don't want the people who listen and who not D-Great to know I'm not taking a shot at you. We got to stop doing that too. Oh, my light was out because they ain't Why are you following me? Because my license plate light is out. You could simply pull up next to me, bro. Sir, your light, let your window down. Your light out. I don't want to harass you. You might get some harassment by somebody else. Get that fixed. And it's over. Why you follow me for that? But then you want us.
I didn't even know they was creeping. I didn't even know these dudes behind me, bro. Until I pulled in my driveway, I looked, I said, oh, y'all the police. You know what I mean? Like, man.
Now, what happens if you got to conceal and carry, take a shot at one of them because you're scared? And see, these are the things that I'm talking about. You find that, Kev. You find it's perfect. It's echo gone. These are the things that I'm talking about that we have to. If y'all police officers, I know some of y'all listening, not just my man Dan Allen. Shout out to Sergeant Dan Allen, real good brother. He a police officer, awesome brother. Looked out for my son plenty of times. All he does is work with young people. So I'm not telling I'm not even gonna do that. But what I am going to say is, police officers, why do y'all want us to respect y'all? And, you know, this is my favorite line about the police. Hey, who turned on radio? Okay. Y'all want us to respect y'all, and y'all want us to treat y'all like regular people. It's just a few bad apples. But y'all don't consider us a few bad apples. When if Raider Kev and HRap is in LA on our way in separate cars to D-Grade house, they'll stop us for the tail light thing being out instead of just telling us, because we could be the bad apples. But they want us to look at them as possibly the good apples. How's that possible, y'all? I'm listening.
Yeah, that's that double standard, man.
Right.
That's, you know, and that's why I don't fall for it. I don't give them that power. You know, there's a saying that a person will only have the power that you allow them to have.
Amen.
You know what I'm saying? I don't allow them to have that power, and it might sound silly when I say that, because obviously they have all the power, right? But I don't acknowledge it. So you can't have power over me if I don't give it to you. You know what I'm saying? But that's that double standard, man. And they're notorious for doing that. And, you know, I mean, just call a spade, man. White folks been doing that for years. You know, we can do the smallest things, you know, and we are so, you know, we are held to such a high standard that it's ridiculous. Yet if they can enslave us, they can take away our voting rights, they can do all the things that's under the sun to us, and they have an excuse for it. And they're supposed to be excused for it, you know. But we do one thing, and, well, you see, that's how they are.
See?
You know, that's all of them. But that only happens when you allow it to happen. I don't give them the power, man. That's just my simple answer. Don't give them the power.
You said it right there, brother. Don't give them the power. We gotta fight the power like PE. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You ain't lying. Or hey, the Ashley brothers, yeah, that's where they got it from.
Man, that's what's up.
With that being said, man,
what's up with your boy? Hey, what's up with your boy Dale, man? I thought he was coming through. I thought he was gonna crack some jokes today.
Oh man, you know, ice. I'm gonna say one word, ice. And not the kind that's in your refrigerator. You know immigration is out there. With that being said, man, I want to thank both of you.
Hey, my bad. I just want to just say, man, thank you, brother, for what you're doing. You know, taking it to a whole nother level, which is a good thing. You're showing us how to do it. You know, the information is priceless. That young brother you had on there is just priceless information about our ancestors. Just the information that you pumping out and the homework you're doing every day, 7 days a week, just doing what you're doing, man. You don't have to do it, but you're doing it because of the love of the people and the love of just educating people about things that we need to be aware of. You know what I mean? So I'm just giving you roses right now, you know what I mean? We appreciate you big time, man. I'm not only talking for myself, but I'm just talking about a lot of people that probably cannot speak the words that I'm speaking. That, bro, we love you. Continue doing what you're doing. Thank you for your support. I thank you for the support for my show. You know what I mean? I ain't never seen so many Chicago people on my show. I said they got to be covered from my boy. So I really do appreciate that for connecting me with them and having a relationship or some type of connection with people from the shop. You know what I mean? So once again, man, continue pushing it out. Continue doing what you're doing. You know, anything you need from me, you know, I got you, bro. You know, and once again, just thank you, bro. bro. That's just from the heart.
I was just about to ask you for your pardon shots, and thank you for that, man. I really appreciate it, man. It's fun. It's just something I always did, man. It's been in me, I'm a hip hop dude, and I always gravitated towards PE, X Clan, and those type of things, and they trigger things,
Right.
and that's what led down that rabbit hole. But man, it's like I always say on my show, it's not in me. It's not on me. It's in me. I gotta help our folks get up out of this bad situation, man. We're not finna keep struggling, man. And I ain't calling for no war or none of that, man. But we are gonna systematically, like they systematically oppress us and hide the truth from us, we're gonna systematically come up out of that nonsense and kick their jaws in their ass. Ready, Kev, it's on you, brother.
Well, I just want to, just go back to the beginning and what we talked about, man. Find that humor, man. Find what makes you happy, and broaden your mind. Don't accept what is standard. We all know we find joy in music. People like to play spades, like to play games, things of that nature. But broaden your mind. Find some joy, some things that you never really thought about. Find a brother that you can laugh with. You made a point earlier that everybody has their time in their life. It's not always lifetime. It's great if you can get a lifetime relationship. Sometimes it's part-time, and accept that. So find some brothers in your life that you can laugh with, enjoy. And more importantly than anything, man, learn to find humor in yourself. Don't take yourself so serious. You want to find joy? It starts inside, man. When you can laugh at yourself, when you can take yourself and just be critical, but not judgmental, dude, that's another level, whole another level. So just enjoy yourself and just be happy with yourself, and then that'll you could then pass it on to your next brother. You know what I'm saying? So relationships, being one with yourself, being happy with yourself, and you gotta have that spiritual element in there also. So that's my answer to peace and happiness.
Man, amen to that. As they say, African traditions, ashe. Man, I want to thank you, brothers, man. First and foremost, I want to thank you. I want to thank everybody who tuned in, everybody who was in the background, who didn't take the time to create a profile, who listened. I want to thank each and every one of y'all, man, because this is how we going to get better, man. We are the medicine. We are the medicine for each other. We are the medicine for each other. That's how we going to make each other get better, because it's something that you have that I don't. It's something that me and you have that D-Great don't. It's something that me, you, and D-Great have that the people who listen don't have. And we're going to keep on mixing that into this gumbo called life and put ourselves in a better position. That's what we're going to do, because they tell us we don't like each other, we don't support each other, we don't get along. And guess what? Every time we tune into one of these podcasts and support each other, we defunct that lie. That's a lie. That's Flavor Flav once said, that's a worldwide lie. We don't know each other enough to hate each other. So you can only hate things that you know and participate in. So I don't know you people. Like, it's somebody, I got my first thumbs down today. Shout out to that sucker who hit the thumbs down. Guess why? It only helps me that you didn't like it, jerk ass. You could have just not touched it. So shout out to you too. But all the time I've been doing this, that's my first thumbs down. Please come back next week in the next 52,000 weeks and give me some more thumbs down. It's really appreciated. But with that being said, to the good people who tune in, man, I thank you for the support. If you can, please hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up button, hit that reminder. And to the haters, I need y'all to hit the thumbs down, hit the reminder. I need y'all to do that too. Hey, everything helps, dummy. But with that being said, man, I want to let my brothers, my sisters, and our allies know Everything you do on Built for This Network, every time you support us, it's appreciated. It's fun. We going to continue to build. And please subscribe to Built for This Network on Spreaker.com. Please subscribe to the End of the Bench podcast on YouTube, Build and Destroy, where we are building up each other and destroying the lies and propaganda around our communities. As I say, I'm going to send a shout out to Karen, Joe Madison, Laree Daniels Favors, Clay Kane, Heather B, Karen Hunter, Al Sharpton, my man Lamont King. Please go on YouTube, subscribe to Lamont King Live, Craig Fax, Corey Holcomb, Zoe Williams, and Ray Grady. These are all the people who, instead of watching TV, I watch them because they look like me, and everything they say is to enhance people that look like us. With that, Dr. Greg Carr as well. Salute to him. With that being said, salute to Reggie O'Shea, who him and my mom gave me the intestinal fortitude to be able to do a podcast. And I use his line, dream those dreams and man up and woman up and live those dreams, because life without dreams flows in black and white, and life with dreams flows in technicolor surround sound. And y'all know how I end all the shows. Salute to Craig Smith from Craig Facts. If I owe you something, I ain't got it. And if you need it, get it from God. We out.
Peace.
Peace.
Yeah, man. Thank y'all, brothers. Thank y'all, man.
Man, you're welcome, man. I enjoyed it.
Another banger, man. But that's what we got to do. That's what we have to do. We have to continue